class. Okay, today we are going to talk on Ielts writing. Rachel, can you remember the last class we had on Ielts writing? We have come to discover that most students don't really get a higher band when it comes to writing due to one or two challenges. For example, people have that feeling that once they can speak English, then they can write. But it is better to unlearn so that you can learn. It's not always because you can speak English. There might be grammatical errors. When it comes to writing, writing has its own formats. Whatever you are learning here will also help you in other areas of your life, and not just for this IELTS. Now, talking about IELTS writing, it is divided into, we have the introduction, then we have the main body, then we have the conclusion. Task 2 takes about 40 minutes. It is advisable that you spend at least 5 minutes for planning and organizing. You don't just go straight into writing. Plan yourself, because the reader is going to look out for cohesion and cohesive. That's what we're going to look out for. So you need to plan and organize yourself. Now we have different tasks under the task 2. We have the agree, we have agree or disagree, we have advantages and disadvantages, we have proffering a solution to a problem. We also have direct question, then we also have answer to questions. Now, looking at this, it has been discovered that most questions are usually agree or disagree. Task 2 is usually 150 words. It is advisable that when writing, you write between over 250, but not under 250. Please take note. It is recommended, it is allowed to write 250 and above, but let it not be too lengthy. It could be between 250 words and 270 words, 275 words, 280 words is okay, but let it not be too lengthy. Because what the reader is looking out for is relevant ideas, not just writing anything that comes to mind, relevant ideas. And that's why it is advisable you plan and organize your ideas before you start writing. 5 minutes is enough to plan and organize your ideas, and make it 5 minutes is to write. When we start, like I said, we have the introduction, the main body, and the conclusion. It is advisable for if the introduction can be between 30 to 50 words. 30 to 50 words. And how would you know? I would say, when you have written your introduction, you can go back and count. First one, you will know when you have exceeded. Be 30 to 50 words is advisable. Then you can now enter the paragraph. Talking about the main body is divided into 2 paragraphs. We have paragraph 1 and we have paragraph 2. Then before we now have the conclusion. So we have 4 paragraphs on the whole. Now let us look at the introduction using agree or disagree. Agree or disagree is asking for your own opinion. The introduction is usually made up of the background statements, and the thesis statements. That's the introduction. The introduction is trying to what? Introduce, trying to tell the reader what the essay is all going to be about. That's what we're going to talk about. What the essay is going to be about. Here you have the topic sentence. The topic sentence could be either the first sentence, or it could be at the middle of the paragraph, or it could be at the end of the paragraph. So the topic sentence is really here. The thesis statement talks about what the essay is actually going to be about. That's the thesis statement. So here, when you come to the introduction, do not use the same words that you were given in the exam. Please take note of that. Rather, you paraphrase. When we talk about paraphrasing, it means you use it in your own words. For example, flogging of children in schools should be banned. Do you agree or disagree? Or it could come in, to what extent do you agree or disagree? If I were to paraphrase this, I will paraphrase it and say flogging, or let me come to this way, flogging of children. There are key words here: flogging in schools and banned. These are key words I might try to change. I might try to repeat flogging, or I could say beating of children. We say flogging of children in educational facilities. In educational facilities should be prohibited. Or I could say beating of children in educational institutions should be prohibited. Please, when you are going to use your words in paraphrasing, ensure it still has the same contextual meaning. It's very key. Because there are times you might use your words and it might go out of contextual meaning. Hence, one needs to be very careful. So we can see flogging of children in schools should be banned. In my own words, I have said it could be flogging of children in educational facilities should be prohibited. So now I have paraphrased it. So now I'm going to talk about the essay. Is now going to boil down to flogging of that. Do I agree with the statement, or do I disagree with the statement? In other words, to what extent do I agree entirely with the statement that flogging of children in educational facilities should be prohibited? In this introduction, I can decide to bring my own opinion. Hence, I can say, in my own opinion, I can come here and say, in my opinion, or I could say, I agree, in my own opinion, to my mind, to my own point of view. There are words, there are key words the reader is trying to get that will be very catchy. Because the reader might not have the time to go through the whole essay. So those key words, those relevant words that will just watch it as, in my opinion. So there are some key words. To my mind, from my own point of view, I believe, I agree. So those ones are, that is your opinion, because you have been asked, to what extent do you agree or disagree? Like I said earlier, you must ensure you have organized your ideas. so that you don't just come and start writing and in the process start making errors. Now, when we look at the main body, the main body, as I said, is divided into two paragraphs, whereby we have the paragraph, we have two paragraphs there. In the first paragraph is one of the ideas you want to state. For example, if you say you agree, in my opinion, putting of children in educational facilities should be prohibited because because it can lead to fear of children for the teachers or the subjects. That is one idea. So here I will write fear. Okay, let me run this board. Okay. So one of the ideas is fear of the teacher through dislike of the subjects. Then my second idea could be statistics has proven, that is, children usually collapse when flawed. Children usually collapse when flawed. So these are two ideas. So this paragraph, that will be paragraph 2, will fear of the teacher or dislike of the subject. Then the other paragraph will now talk about children usually collapse when flawed. So talking about the main body, I would now need to get ideas that will build up this particular topic sentence. So the topic sentence the topic sentence for the second paragraph is going to be fear of the teacher and dislike of the subject. Then I will now build it up by developing the paragraph. Then the third paragraph will now be, the topic sentence here is children usually collapse when flawed. Then I will get supporting ideas to build it up so it becomes a paragraph. Then I will also want to make mention that when building up your paragraphs, it is advisable to give examples. Giving example, you don't just give examples like that. You could say, for example, for instance, you give examples to buttress your points. Then when we come to the conclusion is restating what you have said before, what you have written before. It is a summary. The conclusion is a summary. The conclusion is a summary of all the ideas. The conclusion is a summary of all the ideas. And please, when using conclusion, it is advisable there are some keywords to be used when writing the conclusion. Words like all in all, overall, in general, or generally. These are keywords to be used when writing the conclusion. As I have said earlier, the number of words should be between 250 to 280, but let it not be too long. It is not how long, because some people have asked me, it's not the length, it's not the number of words that matters, but rather the relevant ideas the reader is looking out for. I will end this and advise you to like, I will share this lecture. My next lecture is going to be an example. We are going to work on flogging of children in schools should be banned. then I will elaborate on it. So watch me in my second video. Thank you.